I'll follow, and I'm just a straight shooter. I'm not really into the scripted stuff. It takes too much time and energy, and I'm not into acting. So I'm just gonna shoot because a lot of you guys don't even know how I even got to this and what even began the journey. And I think that's really important for you guys to know. So I'm gonna sum it up as much as I can, because again, there'll be a movie later. But here I am at the Hilo Library. It's the only place that I find sanctuary right now when I have to leave the shelter at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I can come get Wi-Fi. I can have shelter from the elements, and it just feels safe. And I was coming across, because, I just walk into the doors, and I've looked right past this very important part here that I want to bring your guys' attention to, because I know part of my journey here is bringing back the heart chakra in the Hawaiian Islands and the Spanish countries, or wherever the Spanish have derived from and are rested now. So it's the idea of sanctuary. I'm going to get to the stone in a minute, but my mother was the only sanctuary. The only place that I felt safe. And she knew what sanctuary was to me. When she, as a 20-year-old, she'd come to my apartment and was like, man, I wish Mike, which was her husband at the time, would have seen your place, not your sister's. And my sister, she got 2 kids, right? And she's not messy or filthy, but we got 2 kids, Some mothers tend to live differently. They're always on the go, right? But she just wished her husband had seen my place, which was very neat, meticulous, so meticulous that it unnerved a girlfriend of mine checking my cabinets and saying I was like her dad, and it's too clean. It made people uncomfortable. But so it's the idea of sanctuary. My mom knew what my home meant to me. And all the craziness in this world, I'm finding sanctuary here at this library. And I haven't read this yet, but we're going to read it together, and you guys can pause the camera on it. And I'm going to go back and read it. So I guess here we go, the spiritual power of the stones. Here's the lava stone. My understanding is the people coming in and the burial sites and stuff, they just doing what they want, they're not respecting ancient history. And there is a time to move forward, but there are some things that need to be preserved, and that's what I'm here to do, is help preserve the warmth and the love that paradise had that is getting snatched away by, this is going to keep it straight up, Caucasians and those that support Caucasians taking over. And they can be of any color, at any race. But I say that because what started this journey for me here was in about COVID. So right when COVID hit, I was working and I got sick twice. And it was COVID. I didn't go get it checked out, but it was freaking COVID. And I know because I had the same symptoms when I went to Colombia and got hit over there with it. Anyhow, I'm making great money. I'm a journeyman carpenter, very well for a woman and a man. And I'm now at a site where we're building apartments, and the apartment buildings are so big, we're getting lost in them as workers. I'm sitting there and I'm now doing finished work, which there'll be a lot of jealousy with that because it's typically for the seniority, right? But I did my shit. I learned my shit in many areas, and as someone put to me, but you do it, you make art out of it. And I can watch you and just learn by watching. And so I know that my superiors saw that in me too. On one job, they were like, hey, my journeyman, he was like, they grooming you, right? And I'm like, I kind of laugh. You're like what? For what? He's like, you gonna run this shit one day. And I was like, yeah, right. Not even what I'm gonna do music, man. I ain't even trying to run this shit. And brings me back to my friend who I grew up with since I was 5, her son, admiring that I was a carpenter. And he said, Mom, Aunt Val's gonna be the boss of everybody one day. We just laughed and I was like, but this kid be on it. He's connected and he wanna be an attorney and an NBA player. So I'm gonna hold on to that, but I ain't into being the boss, man. I want everybody just to do their part. But let's go back to the work. I'm making great money, right, for me and what I'm used to in my world. And I'm just on the brink of just making more. But I realize as we're doing these apartments, I'm doing the finish work, I'm like, I got it easy, not easy. And I see these older men, they on their knees, they broken, they've been doing it, and they can't even quit now because they got, they feel that they need Medicare. And maybe they do at this point because they've been so broken down to heal their body on their own. It's going to take such a long time. It can be done, but it's going to take a long time. So they need Medicare. So they're attached to the system, needing Medicare. And I was like, this can't be. I'm tired of seeing people at Walmart that are greeting people and they should be fucking on a beach or at home enjoying their bliss on their porch. And they having to hold a job. It's not okay. I feel like we should be retired at 45 so we can at least see the world. We shouldn't be doing 40 hours. So what can I do about that? Again, I'm summing it all up for you guys. Well, I could remove myself from this system and not participate in this system and making these guys a whole bunch more money than I'm making and building these small boxes that, mind you, on one apartment complex, I'm realizing, I asked, okay, so we're going to jump over a little place a little bit because this is part of it too. Before that site, I'm on a site where we're building like, they're even smaller apartments. But I know the area, and so I asked the lady who, as we're wrapping these apartments up and doing the finished work, I say, yeah, how much do these go for? And she was like, well, what's your budget? And I'm like, I'm so over these car salesmen turning into these leasing agents asking what my budget is so they can get more of my money using their gift to gab while I'm out here really busting my butt. And I'm like, what do you mean? Just how much is the unit? Well, don't you got A, B, C, D units? What is the cost of them? So I realized, man, we're developing a system where everybody working each other. Even these leasing agents are becoming like car salesmen trying to figure out how they can get more of your hard-earned money. So I flip it on her and I say, all right, so, I'm here building these apartments. Do we give any discount to those who have built? And she laughed at me. She looked like she probably a mother too. And I just was like, man, these young men and older men out here breaking themselves for these families to go home and be tired on the weekend, have to muster what they can just to provide shelter and food. And that was their passion. They didn't have another passion, a lot of them. Something that lifted them up. What lifted them up was taking care of the women and the kids at home that really, in my opinion, a lot of them didn't respect that. And I said we should have a family day so they could really see what we do. Maybe you get a back rub when you get home, foot rub. Your person will help take care of your body since you out here busting it, not wondering how could we get more money? How can you go work and get more money for home? And I was like, it's all backwards. And I was seeing this flip here in the eras with the men having the power to the woman now having a different type of power. So I said, let me remove myself from this system. This is all wrong. And if I have to go broke behind it to get this change, then damn it, I guess that's just what we have to do. So I started that movement, New Magic, the community project. And if you guys check my other videos, you can hear some stuff about that, but I can't go into all that right now. But I'm one person, and people showing up for this movement to support everybody, and it's still people being like, oh, you a carpenter? I got this and X, Y, and Z for you to do. And it's like, hold the fuck up. I'm one person, and I'm not here to freaking make all your dreams come true. I'm here to work with you. You work with me. What I found is just selfish ass motherfuckers again. Just want somebody to be their modern day slave. And it didn't stop at the mothers, and that was very disheartening for me. So I said, let me remove myself from the system. I'm gonna learn other materials. I learned, come across aircrete. So been for a couple years saying I trying to organize my 40 hours, to go learn about aircrete and have the finances to do that. I go and I come to Hawaii, and I feel very called to Hawaii. And I got 2 other counterparts to help continue this movement, but they wasn't doing their part in helping it keep going. So again, by myself. They thought it was more interesting to do acid and party and stuff like that than get moving on the movement. Okay, to say the least. All right, they had to go get back to themselves. It was deviated to a darker path before they started really getting on their path, but okay. But in the middle of that, I had to come home from Hawaii because I knew now I was going to be in Hawaii. I needed to sell my stuff, and I did this. They just so happened to have acid and just 3 tabs left. Like, you want to do it? I was like, okay, there's a reason for this. I feel like I can't get deeper to connect with something that I'm supposed to understand, and that's what it was. It's going darker to understand the darker path. So I did this acid. We all did it. We all ended up kind of like separating, doing our own thing, and then it kicked in, and all of a sudden I'm crying, and I'm like, what the fuck? Because I had done acid before, but I don't like doing that type of stuff. But every now and then, or wanted to try to see what it was about. Didn't never really like it. Maybe in the 4 or 5 times that I tried. So, but on this trip, we all went through it, and at the same time, look, 3 of us, 3 of cups, we come back together and meet in the lower part of the house, and in the living room, we're all sobbing, like, what the fuck just happened to us? And we're crying, and we're sharing our stories so far. And one of the girls, she makes a bath upstairs while she did her trip, and she surrounded herself with crystals and everything and had it all lit up nice. Said, hey Val, why don't you go take a bath? And I'm like, thank you. She had the master bathroom. And in that trip, I heard the rising phoenix like sheltering me with its wings, and it took my ear to the water. And yes, people could say, oh, that was your heartbeat, but no, it was like the wings covering me, going boom, boom, boom. And I put my head up, and they put my ear back down to the water. And in that moment, I saw and I heard the cry of all the mothers that I hold dear to me, my sisters, my mother, gut-wrenching friends going through their cry. Like, I heard their cry, their gut-wrenching cry, and it hurt me so deep. And I heard my grandma weep. And why we jumping all over the place to understand this is because in hearing that weep and all that, it reminded me of why I wasn't working for these corporations, building these small apartments where all that energy in this big old space is bouncing around. That's unhealthy because these people don't know they're even unhealthy, right? And it's like a trap. It's like a mouse trap, right? So I go through feeling and hearing their cries, and it doesn't leave me. And then, because I'm jumping all over the place, bear with me. Let's fast forward now, rewind from that event. It's bringing me back to why I'm not building anymore and building these small boxes and calling them homes, For a healed person, okay, sure. But we're not there yet. And I remove myself and say, let's go do this aircrete. Then I find in this whole aircrete crew, it's, survival of the fittest type of thing. People packing up just to have a ride or food. It's just giving me an idea that even amongst the lightest people you can meet, if they're in survival mode, they fucking each other over. Or the one person like me becomes like the outcast in a sense. Non-supported or supported with contingencies of bullshit. But these are the warriors. These are the ones to help change and rebuild. So what are we doing? Now, back to why I'm doing what I'm doing. It started up also because my mother, she was in shelters when I was young, before I can remember. My siblings, my older siblings, remember. And at that time, it was the men hurting the women. My dad beating my mom. My sisters being beat by men. Me getting punched in the face by my sister's boyfriend. Me getting hurt by my other sister's boyfriend. Not women, right? My mom had us in a shelter, and she shared a story with me. She says, I went to go handle some business. I'm guessing with my older siblings, I don't know. And she asked some people in the shelter to watch me and my sister. When she come back, me and my twin sister, she said, they put us in a closet, first of all. So they locked us in a closet, and our lips were purple. And she said that we were, I hope that was water. Yeah, I thought that bird shit on my head. It was shitty. And we were freezing cold. And then I've heard all kinds of other stories that she had to deal with as a single mother. And I didn't want that for another mother. And then we take it back further to my grandmother, raped by her dad, impregnated by her dad, sent to Albertina Kerr to then give her baby away. But let's go back to her story further on that. So she's molested by her father. My mother's molested by her father. My grandmother, in being molested by her father, got impregnated, and then he hired sailors to rape her to look like it was their child, one of their child. How horrible. Yet I experienced such a sweetness from this woman, such a calm peace, and I only heard her weep. I didn't hear the gut wrenching from her. And I thought, what a strong woman. I wish I could only be that. Not saying she always was, I don't know, but that's how I got to experience her. And what a sad story. So now this child grows up away from, I think she had the baby at 15. They later connected in life. I got to see that. But he was damaged. She was damaged. And she went on to heaven. My mother, who her husband molested, changed the vibration between her and my mom and my mom's sister. And then you got my older sister. I don't know who transgressed her in the family, but I just know that somebody did. And I know it led her to alcohol and things when she was younger, and doing things that for her privacy, I won't tell you guys, but it's heartbreaking. And these women did things that no one should have to do to survive, or what they felt they had to do to survive. And then you fast forward to me and my current, just not current situation while I'm on the streets, but seeing the flip that the power is I'm not experiencing it from the men. I'm experiencing it from the women, the mothers. What I just left. Maria has more than enough space. She didn't have an asshole. She had a lover, one of the best lovers anybody gonna get in their life. And even her used power and control and put me out. Called the cops. Want to see me in jail. And really how she can make amends is going to them and tell them she fucking lied. Telling them that I made terroristic threats. I still have to face this. I don't even know what I'm going to do with that. I don't have an attorney. It's still pending with the public defender. I got 2 cases because of her fucking lies. All my shit's there. My music equipment. My clothes. And she exerted her power and control on another female who's out here trying to make a better way for everybody and mothers. Because she couldn't be patient for the money to come in, because that's all she was really about. She had a timeline on when that money should be coming. She just wanted to sit back and relax and whip that whip and have me be like fucking Superman, Superwoman, Bionic Man, Bionic Woman, Bionic every fucking thing, Wonder Woman, and her freaking healer, her channeler. But you know what? She could make all this right. She'd go tell the truth. So they drop all this shit on me. I got proof to really show our character when it come down to it. And I read her statement and she really fucked herself. But I just need a good attorney to help point that shit out. Maybe I don't, really. But it'd be nice for my sense of peace. So I started all this for the mothers. I continued it for single people like me. And the men that go and break themselves for these mothers, for these women, for the community as a single man that don't give a shit about them. Singles need the help too. We're the ones that are keeping this shit together. So here I am, a library of knowledge, right? And even then, right now I just don't have the capacity to go and learn about the law to save my own ass. But it's there. It's one place I feel safe. Closes at 4, sometimes 7 other nights, but at least I have shelter, I have warmth. There's a beautiful scene inside. It's peace and quiet. So even the library is quiet so you can obtain your knowledge. But you go to these DV shelters and you got the women talking about, oh, well, it's loud up in here. Like, get used to it. And it's like, that's not peace. And if you really came from a domestic violence situation, it takes you within. Makes you quiet and get your rest and restitute. Your refuge. So what that tell me? Those women are probably part of the problem. Except in a loud house. Don't you know, DV usually things are pretty loud. And they say, oh, it's about the kids. You know, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody needs their peace even more. You want to talk about the kids? Well, keep it quiet. Don't guide the energy. You guys are professionals. You're not here just to sit and get paid to run a JOB. You're here to guide the energy. So in my journey, in my travel with the plan, I see to do is I'm seeing these real estate locations where we can help start to clean up the community and call on the wealthy, celebrities included, and just show them what I see in my vision. And, you know, they take it or they don't. But we can't get better if the community don't work together. We're stronger in numbers. And the divide and conquer is just, they did a great job at it. So in a nutshell, I started for my mom, the mothers, and the men, and the single people who still matter too. We're in an era where everybody knows that we're supposed to be linking up with partnership, and they think that it's all like sexually based. And no, there's a need to have a camaraderie and love, because we need that healing, not the sexual healing that everybody's talking about. Our universe is where our tummies come together, not sex down below that. Our universe is held in our gut. And yes, it would be nice if we can connect with somebody where that feels good. And if it don't feel good and you can't sleep next to them, they ain't right for your universe. They need to change something, or you do. Or y'all ain't meant for each other. We need to recognize that and let those relationships go. find a way to be whole on our own. But the thing is, we still need each other. It's healing. It helps the healing happen faster. We all know that. The more electricity pumped into something, right? The more power, right? We're electrical, we're energy. But it's not done through sex. Now, that could be a part of it. Great manifestation tool if you're operating in the right love capacity. So everybody's yearning for sex and shit, and I'm out here, people worried about me, say, oh, you pretty, you gotta be careful. There's a lot of sex trafficking. I know this. But what am I supposed to do, right? Just be careful, let the divine protect me. I'm sitting here at my sanctuary 2 nights ago. It's closed. And I seen this guy. His name's Justin, by the way. White guy, hair down to here. In case something do happen. Walks around barefoot with a hat. Been trying to be a friend to me, like a lot of people. And I could see him in his fidginess, just trying to talk fast, but he's pretty good for people who aren't like me. And can I sit with you? And I'm like, I don't know how good a company I am right now, but he's gonna sit anyway, right? But then it just gets to the point where now we're both standing because I'm not digging his energy. And he's sitting here telling me, compliment me on one side, telling me how I'm very attractive, and I remind him of this woman that he just has loved since he was in school, and I think he said high school. No, a kid. But he thinks he plays with his mind, and women like to fucking do that. Okay, that's a problem. Creating people like this Justin out here. Yes, he has a choice, but they ain't helping doing that shit. And I'm reminding him of this person he don't know if he like or dislike. And we're going through this, and he's telling me the duality of how he feels about this person. And he's also like, and you're handsome, and I'm in between. So it's like, for some people that's really attractive, for some people it pisses them off, but my energy, if people can't have it, it tends to like really piss them the fuck off, and then they want to hurt me behind it. So here I am in my sanctuary, outside my own business, utilizing some internet till they shut it down. And he keeps inching closer, and I keep telling him, look, I got boundaries. There's physical boundaries. You need to back up. And with everything you telling me right now, you just got out of jail 3 weeks. You won't tell me what you got in jail for. Oh, it was a little misdemeanor. But you won't tell me what it is. I'm not comfortable with you, so you need to back up. He'll back up and be like, no, it's all good energy. But then he start going in, and he talk about, yeah, this gay shit, So I'm like, this dude can't decide. I talk with spirit while he's doing all this. I'm like, he can't decide whether he want to bend my ass over, spread my legs, or beat me up right now. Or play it cool, because he could tell that he's talking with someone of the divine, and he's really having a hard time choosing. That's what I went through the other night. And then to walk back to the shelter in pouring rain, I got an umbrella, but it only covers so much, and it's a big one. But as he was going through that, like I said, the divine be showing up, and it was way after hours by now. And there's a drop box, and a truck pulls up, but they don't go to the drop box. It's like they sense the energy, I feel. And so they sat for a while, not right near us. And because you see, that's a big drive. They sat about right there. And I was over here. Over there. And I'm like, this is going south, and it's starting to rain real bad because the sun follows me. So when the rain shows up very heavy, there's hurt and trauma around. And so I'm like, shit. So I started speaking to spirit, and I'm like, okay, well, you let me know, because it's like he's too close, and he's a big guy. I'm going to have to throw punch his ass. I don't know. And they've been showing me a lot of self-defense shit lately. And I know that was for me to take note to, because they tell me some, bigger people, guys specifically, will be coming for me, jealousy. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to throw. And that's always been a thought tactic, is that throw punch, right? And I'm just assessing him and his body and like, okay, what do I got to do? Because I feel like the minute I flinch, he's going to fucking flex. And there's not, like, what am I going to do? And if he's, you know, he's got a long arm reach. And this truck pulls up. And then, like I said, they sat there for a couple minutes and they didn't leave. And I was really glad that they didn't. I felt like they sent something else. They didn't get out. They didn't go put the notebooks in their drop. And then another truck pulls up. And it was almost like two chariots pulling up. And then they reverse. And it's like, now they're kind of sitting together observing like, we're here. We're here in case this fool busts a move. So I took that opportunity because it was just getting excited. And he kept getting inching closer again. And I was like, see, physical fucking boundaries. I was like, you need to respect physical fucking boundaries. And I got my shit and I hurried up and just walked off in the rain. But shit is real here in Hilo, in Paradise. There's a lot of great paradise, but we need to clean some shit up. And just putting people on the street, it ain't cool. Just because we mad, because someone doesn't want to give their body to us, ain't fucking cool. Women playing mind games, acting with their emotions, ready to inconvenience masculines and males because now they got the power of the household and they can go lie to the cops and be, oh, the little innocent person. Yeah, that's a lot of power in the dark. It ain't fucking cool. Because now I'm out here dodging sex offenders, drug heads, and people that they just lost their way and since they gave up. And so now they're in survival mode. They otherwise wouldn't be an asshole jerk, but they're in survival mode. So it's you or them, nail or hammer, right? And here's me saying, no, we ain't gonna be none. We gonna pick up the nail, we gonna pick up the hammer, we gonna build. You ain't gonna be the fucking hammer, and I ain't gonna be the nail, for sure. But if I gotta tell you back the hell up and make you that nail, I will. It's not what I wanna do. But there it is. In the smallest nutshell I can give you guys, and hopefully people have had the patience to actually hear the details as far as I could give them without this being a 6-part series, to say the least. And I also did it because Colin Kaepernick, when I saw him take a knee and I didn't see the other celebrities and entertainers freaking step up and just stop. Like I wanted all of the tradesmen, just stop and reprogram. Let's get this negotiations where it need to be. There's more of us. It's like you see people on the street, there's someone getting beat up and there's 10 people watching, 20 people watching, got their cameras out, when all of them could go subdue the 1 or 2 aggressors. But nobody wants to be in it. I got my own drama is the common statement. Now this drama eventually seeps over, and then it's gonna be your fucking child, your sister, your brother, your mother, your grandma, your granddad. Everybody need to get their shit together. I got the message on how you can do that and still uphold your abundance and make more. But you gotta be willing to uplift the community too. And not just wherever. You gotta listen to the divine. And if you don't know that, you need to come see me because I do know that. And the shit is getting hard out here by myself. I wasn't made to do it by myself.